Now we'll try to understand normalization. This topic is very important for designing the databases, and even for interview purpose also this normalization topic is very important. Okay, now let us try to understand normalization. So first let us try to understand the definition or use of normalization. By using normalization technique, we can reduce data duplication or data redundancy. So duplication is also called as redundancy in the technical terms. Okay, now so this is the actual advantage of normalization. Now okay, so before going to the example, first I will explain how we will be doing normalization, or what will happen when you try to normalize the table for reducing the data duplication or data redundancy. In general, when you are doing normalization for reducing the data duplication or data redundancy, you will be splitting a single table into multiple tables in order to reduce the data duplication or data redundancy. Okay, now we will try to understand one example based on this. Let us assume I am creating an application for an university. Let us say I got students table which is having student ID, name of the student, and then state. Assume I am creating this application for an Indian university. Okay, and assume I got some data something like this. Rajiv, state maybe Karnataka, 2 Mahesh, Uttar Pradesh, 3 Veena, Kerala, 4 Vani, Andhra Pradesh, 5 let us say Kishore, again from Karnataka, 6 Madhav from Karnataka. So something like this. Let us assume total 5000 students information is stored in this students table. Now assume say while designing the table, assume say you have applied primary key constraint and integer data type, say varchar here 40 and maybe varchar 40 here. Now tell me, or you try to identify the column which is having duplication. Absolutely, the state column is having duplicate data, right? And now you may find that sometimes like say multiple students names can be duplicated. Let us say there can be one more Rajiv in the students table, but anyhow this names is unpredictable data. But in case of states, this states column in India, you tell me total how many number of states are available? 29 states, including new state, that is Telangana. So definitely in this column this 29 state names will be repeated, right? Okay, let us assume total 2000 students joined into this university and who are from Karnataka. You tell me how much of memory is required for storing this Karnataka. Assume say total 5000 students are enrolled in this university, right? Out of these 5000 students, 2000 are from Karnataka. You tell me how much of memory is required for storing Karnataka. Obviously you count the total number of letters, 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So total 9 characters are present. And assume say for each and every character 2 bytes of space is required. So 2 bytes into 9 characters, total 18 bytes of space is required for storing Karnataka one time. So what about 2000 times? 2000 into 18. Approximately 36,000 bytes of space is required only for storing Karnataka. Now you think about the remaining states. Let us say there are 800 people from Kerala. Again duplication, highest level of heavy duplication will be happening in this state column, right? Now the question here is it possible to avoid this duplication? Answer is, it is highly impossible to avoid complete duplication, right? But we can able to reduce the duplication, right? Now we will try to understand how to reduce the duplication, right? Okay. So let us try to understand how to reduce duplication. So reducing the duplication present in this current students table is, it is very easy. So what you need to do here is, first of all you need to identify the columns in which duplication is happening. And if you observe carefully, this states column data is duplicated and this data is predictable data. What is the meaning of predictable data? This data is predictable. State names in India, it is constant, fixed state names in general, right? Okay, so this is predictable data. When you observe duplication in the predictable data column, such kind of column or for storing such kind of data, it is better to create a separate table. Let me explain what I mean to say here. Now, in order to reduce the duplication, you try to create separate states table. Give the column name as state ID, STID, maybe ST name, int, maybe primary key, and varchar 40 here. Now what you are going to do in this table? Very simple. You will be assigning or you will be giving one number for each and every state name. You will be assigning some number. Let us say we will start with Karnataka. I give 1 for Karnataka state. Similar way, Andhra Pradesh, assign 2. Similar way, 3 Kerala, 4 Tamil Nadu, 5 Uttar Pradesh. Something like this. You try to store all 29 states information, including our new state Telangana, right? So this is how you create a new table for states, right? Now you modify this students table. Now instead of the current table, you drop the current table and try to create new students table. Students table, right? This is students table. Students. Now you try to create student ID column, name of the student column, state name column, or maybe it can be state column. You can give any name over here, not an issue. And you apply integer primary key. Now you specify varchar 40 here, and maybe say this is not state name column, it must be state ID column, must be integer type, right? Now you start storing the same data. 1 Rajiv. Now you have created already a separate states table over here. Now in the students table, instead of storing state name, you try to store state ID. 1 Karnataka. Second Mahesh. Mahesh is from Uttar Pradesh. What is the state number? 5, right? Next 3 Veena. She is from Kerala. So Kerala state number is, state ID is 3. Similar way 4, Vani, Andhra Pradesh means 2. Next 5, Kishore from Karnataka. What is the state number? State ID 1. Similar way 6, Madhav, Karnataka. Karnataka means 1. Something like this. So instead of designing the table something like this, it is better to create the same table as 2 tables. First one is states table and second one is students table, right? Okay. Now if you observe the students table which is created now, that is this table. If you observe carefully the state ID column, again the duplication is present here, right? But compared to this duplication, multiple characters duplication, this number duplication is very less, right? It will occupy very less amount of memory, right? So this will be fine, right? So this is how you will be normalizing the tables, or in simple words, a single table you will be splitting into multiple tables in order to reduce the duplication or in order to reduce the data redundancy, right? I believe you understood. But still there is a problem in this approach. What is the problem? The problem is there is a possibility of getting incorrect data or inconsistent data into these tables. Let us say total 5000 students are present, 5000 student information also. Now let us say someone is trying to insert new student information into the states table by writing the query something like this. Let me write insert into students values, let us say 5001 new student, maybe Abhinav, and let us say the user is passing 206. What will happen? Very simple, nothing will happen. That new data will come and sit over here. 5001 Abhinav, and the state number will become 206. Now do you think that this data is valid data? Obviously this data is invalid, incorrect, because there is no state with the number 206. So there is a possibility of getting inconsistent data into this students table, right? Okay. So such kind of data you should not allow into your table. So what will you do? Very simple. You have to make sure that this state ID must get data which is only present in STID column and which is present in the states table, or the data whatever is present in this state ID column, you need to allow only that data into this state ID column present in the students table, right? You have to restrict the data, right, which is coming into the state ID column. So how will you achieve this? Very simple, by relating these two tables. You have to establish a relation between these two tables, right? How will you relate the two tables? That is by using foreign key constraint, right? So I will explain more about foreign key constraint in the next tutorial. Okay.